Nebraska, a rural state in the heart of America's Great Plains. Gretna is a sleepy little town home to just 5,000 residents. Just off the highway, this small gas station is a popular meeting place for local workers. 53-year-old David Herrick comes here every day for his morning cup of coffee.
Morning, Joyce.
It's been part of his daily routine for almost 20 years. He comes here every morning before starting work at 7:30 to meet up with two friends. Randy and Jerry are both local farmers.
Yeah, these guys are always here, and we come in here and we solve the world's problems every morning.
Yeah. That never works.
Nope.
They regularly discuss ways of saving the world, but for the past 5 years, David has had far fewer worries on his mind. They all remember the day his life changed forever.
I was here the morning he went. He come in the door with a lottery ticket in his hand, and he walked over and he threw it right down on the table, and he says, "I hit that son of a gun."
Yeah, I knew him before he won the lottery ticket, and after he won it, now he's my best friend.
Yeah.
On that day, David won the big bucks, big time.
Thanks, guys.
$62 million. In just moments, he went from a poor working-class man to a member of the elite 1% of top earners. But he never forgot his old friends.
Go check out the shop. Just watch your step down there.
He quit his job as a mechanic at the workshop just next door. David was working 2 jobs to get by, 12-hour days for just $2,500 a month.
Send it and trade it in.
He epitomized what it is to be poor in rural America.
Yep, that's what we do.
Now David has some of the trappings of a millionaire. He cruises around in a classic 1972 Dodge Challenger. He bought this gigantic $2 million property overlooking the plains. What he treasures most, however, lies at the other end of the garden, his own workshop. Twice as big as his old place of work, the former mechanic still likes to get his hands dirty. Except now, instead of work, it's a hobby.
I'm fairly new at this, but growing up, we always played, tinkered. So it's a learning process, but I got time to learn.
His collection largely comprises pickup trucks and racing cars from the 1950s, all of which have been lovingly restored and customized.
This one's a very, very fast and very expensive car now. So I've got about $120,000 in it. So money can do anything. And it makes things cool, that's for sure. I have plenty more. And I finally found one. This is, like I say, this is the 65 Chevy step-side pickup, something my dad and I always look for. Let's go check out some more.
It never ends.
Never ends, that's right. I hope never.
Winning the lottery enabled David to realize his childhood dream. He's now the proud owner of more than 20 cars, worth a total of around $500,000. Could he imagine that before?
Just imagine is all. Watch the TV programs. But yeah, you always had a dream of having a nice vehicle to work on, an old classic. And now I have several, so I'm catching up.
Millions of Americans try their luck every week, hoping one day their numbers come up.
No, dude! You just won $250,000!
The lottery is an institution in the U.S. played by 1 in 3 Americans.
One Powerball ticket, please.
Almost 80 billion lottery tickets and scratch cards are sold here each year. And the size of the country's population means jackpots are astronomical. A record jackpot of more than $1.5 billion was won in 2016 and again in 2018.
Welcome, California's latest Millionaire.
Are you kidding? No, you're not kidding. No!
In America, a lot of people dream of becoming a billionaire. Since winning his jackpot, Jack has been busy splashing the cash.
It's only $60,000. That's not much.
And living it up. But his parents are worried and would prefer if he just led a normal life.
That's my lazy one.
We're cheers, living our best lives.
In Nebraska, David and Erica Herrick became the richest people in the county overnight. But they were determined to stay true to their values.
We nickname ourselves the redneck rich because we haven't changed yet, so we're not changing.
Becoming a billionaire, however, can be both a blessing and a curse.
This was just after the lottery win. Like they're all dark around the edges.
It ended up being the worst thing that ever happened to our family. It took him downhill.
Then there's Tim, who won $14 million 20 years ago. He's since spent most of it. Now he campaigns to highlight the dangers of the lottery.
Say no to people. It's one of the most important lessons I had to learn. If I gave everyone what they wanted, I would have been broke a long time ago.
So what is the dark side to an industry that has so many Americans in its thrall?
Okay, say 30,000.
30,000.
And what is life like for those lucky winners? We look at what happens when America hits the jackpot. Back in Nebraska. Even though they're worth more than $60 million, David and Erica haven't forgotten their roots. Not long ago, the family of 6 was crammed into this modest-sized home on the working-class side of town in Gretna.
Neighbors. This was our family home for about 16 years. The kids were raised here.
Even though we're not here anymore, the memories are still here.
Hi.
That's my oldest daughter, Amanda.
Amanda and her 2 children are now living in the house, a present from Mom and Dad.
It's a perfect gift. You're really the most humble people I've ever met.
David and Erica gave each of their children a house in order to avoid sibling rivalry.
This is the home we bought for Taylor. This one was about $225,000.
Their other son Corey's house cost the same price. Their youngest still lives with them in this huge mansion. It was the first thing they bought with their $62 million check. It boasts around 600 square meters of floor space and huge, lavishly decorated rooms. Plus, a kitchen kitted out in wood and black granite. The nouveau riche couple aren't fond of gold leaf or marble columns. After winning the lottery, former nurse Erica went on a shopping spree, as is evident by the ongoing war being fought in the walk-in closet.
MySpace, MySpace, MySpace. I'm just needing that space, but he won't give it up.
Meanwhile, their assets earn them another $500,000 in interest every year. But you won't find any designer shoes or haute couture dresses here. They largely prefer sneakers and T-shirts. The Herrick family keeps souvenirs of the day their lives changed forever.
There we go.
David and Erica. They are our newest millionaires. The first thing we want
So you look tired in some of those pictures.
Didn't sleep much.
That was the scene 5 years ago when they had just won the Powerball jackpot, the biggest lottery in the country. In front of the cameras, the state governor handed over their check. It was major news in Nebraska. Despite their newfound wealth, David and Erica have managed to remain grounded.
I've told my friends before, or our friends, if you're friends with us on Tuesday, you're friends with us today, period. We don't want to lose them. They're who defines us. Family, friends, church. We're not going to change. You know, I'm still wearing the old Nebraska hat. It's not going to change.
5 years on, family, friends, and traditions still remain.